Because this is not a He-Man. Do not ruin my childhood.
Welcome to Backlot 605. This is your premier South Dakota movie podcast.
Ooh,
I get it.
We've upgraded.
We've upgraded because you know why?
Because we can.
Because we're legal now. We are 21 episodes in. That means we can legally drink, even though it is 11:30 on a Sunday morning, and we're not going to do that. Anyway,
Isn't that what we do in South Dakota?
Yeah, that's what we do anyway with our Busch Light here in South Dakota.
Oh yeah. Oh God, no.
Nope. No, not at all. Anyway, I am one of your hosts, Casey.
I'm Brian.
And joined with us again is Chris.
Glad to be here.
Awesome.
That's the lie.
Chris, do you like Busch Light?
No, I mean I've had it. Bud Light.
Oh, I mean we've had it. Doesn't mean it's good.
I was gonna say, don't mean it's good.
I've had a cold and I've had the flu. It doesn't mean it's good.
Have you had Keystone?
Keystone? No, that's just as bad.
Are you literally going down the rungs down the ladder?
We're gonna end with PBR at the bottom, and then we're
Natural ice.
Natural Ice. That's a good one. Bud Ice. That's another.
30-pack of Keystone was the only way to do Saturday night in Brookings.
That is the most South Dakota thing I've ever heard.
It's because he didn't go to Vermilion.
No, not much better in Vermilion, I don't think.
Nope.
No, not at all. Anyway, we only enjoy Fernson here on the back lot. So.
Yummy.
But not here at 11 o'clock in the morning, because that's not very adult.
But we're 21 now.
We are 21, so we could do it if we wanted. We don't have to listen to our parents anymore. Anyway, we're rambling on. Let's jump to the box office for the week, because we had a big weekend for Jordan Peele and Us.
Woo-hoo.
Jordan Peele's Us opened at $70 million this weekend. Huge opening.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby for a original $20 million horror movie.
Or, somebody that's going to knock Captain Marvel out of her, first place spot.
Yep. We got a chance to watch it this weekend. It's a movie that sticks with you for sure.
Oh, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what I watched.
Oh, yeah.
Because I appreciated the fact that going into this movie, I had an idea of what I was expecting because of the way they cut the trailers. And this is not what I was expecting at all.
Same here. What were you expecting? Straight up horror?
To me, it looks more of, well, and it is to a degree, but essentially like a stranger's home invasion type of film.
Yeah.
And that is partially what we got, to the point where you get to the end, you're just like, huh. Now I want to go and rewatch this thing and see if I can pick up on things that I missed the first time.
As with Jordan Peele's Get Out, it's the rewatchability factor for it. You got to rewatch it, and even we went and watched it Thursday, and it's Sunday now when we're recording. But I'm just thinking of different things that I saw. I'm like, how does that fit here? How does that fit? Like different things. Like, what does that mean?
And I don't think there was even really a weak person in that cast.
Not at all.
Even from the supporting side of the guy that played Elizabeth Moss's husband. Obviously I don't know him from anything, but even him, the guy I don't know, he held strong for his character.
They all fit what they
Elizabeth
needed.
Moss killed it.
Lupita is a star.
Oh my God, she needs an Oscar for this one.
Yes. This is, I just realized this the other day. This is her first leading role as the lead of the movie.
Yeah, I'd say you're correct.
What the fuck is taking so long?
What?
She is one of the best actresses out there. Why is this taking so long for her to become the lead?
Because the Hollywood is white?
That's true. But
Jordan Peele's going, you know what? Okay, rephrase. Jordan Peele, outside of Tyler Perry, is going, you know what? I'm going to do this my way.
Yeah, but Tyler Perry does do it his own way, and it's only him in those roles.
Not all of them.
A lot of them.
Just most of them.
Most of them. Yeah, so that pulled in $70 million. That's a big opening.
Yep, they got my dollars.
They got our money.
Yep.
Captain Marvel sticking around, number 2.
With a whole little money of $35 million.
Just $35 million.
Just a little.
And it's third week out.
Right. Only, total grossing over $300 million domestically.
We brought this question up last week. I'll ask it again since Chris is here. Do you guys think that Captain Marvel will stay in the top 5 come Avengers Endgame?
I think it's possible.
I think it might drop out, but I think it'll
Have a little bit of
It'll
resurgence.
go back up that weekend, Endgame weekend.
So come Endgame weekend, we all think it'll be in that top 5. Maybe that number 5
Maybe.
spot.
I
but
think it'll be 5. Yeah.
I think, well, within that, you got Us will stick around. Shazam will be in there.
Between now and
Endgame.
Endgame, what do we have coming out that would be potentially...
We got Dumbo. Now I'm gonna go to April here. We got Shazam, Pet Sematary,
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
And The Curse of Yayaron. I love that name. But
You just like it because it's a Conjuring movie now.
it is, and I like that. But yeah, that's kind of what I think it'll stick around. I think it might dip, and then it'll come back, like Chris said.
Yep. I would have to agree.
Coming in at number 3, the directorless movie, Wonder Park, $9 million.
Wait, what? Directorless?
Oh yeah, you weren't here for that.
Yeah.
So here I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Basically, it does not have a credit for a director because he got himself in trouble just like as the movie was finishing being made. So it has no director credit. Dylan Brown, that I still remember that. Yeah, I guess they kind of kicked him out towards the very end. The whole like inappropriate, not being very smart about his job kind of stuff.
Josh Trank?
Huh?
Yeah, well, a little bit. Little more towards the Bryan Singer end
Yeah.
than the Josh Trank.
Yeah, more Bryan Singer.
Trank's making a comeback, though, I think. He's starting to come back and be a little more outspoken about his stuff. But
So how about number 4?
Number 4
Number
is
4.
those stupid teen dying movies. 5 feet apart.
Tell-
$8.7 million.
Tell us how you truly feel about these teen, terminally ill kid, movies here.
Just move on, Howard. Like, we get it.
Haven't we killed enough of them already?
Yeah.
Like, aren't we running out here?
In the defense of the terminally ill kid, starring movies, and stuff like this, some people could say the same thing about superhero movies, stupid popcorn action movies. I mean, everybody's got their demographic.
That's true, but
Obviously, this is not our movie.
I'd rather have Ferris Bueller than 5 feet apart. Like, have the kid fake that he's dying than actually them dying. That's what I want. Anyway, rounding out the top 5, How to Train Your Dragon 3, sticking around that top 5.
5 weeks in and still in the top 5.
Damn.
Not a whole lot of competition in that demographic besides Wonder Park and who wanted to see that movie.
Obviously,
Not the director.
some of them. No, the director probably did. He's like, but that's my movie.
Yeah. And then Brian's Alita Battle Angel sticking around that top 10,
Yeah.
but is officially a domestic bomb.
Well, again,
Domestic.
we've had this conversation.
I know.
Domestically. I accept and understand this movie is not meant for American audiences. I'm just glad I have the opportunity to see it.
Can we? I want to make a bet between we can. If all 3 of us want to do it, we can. But do we think Alita will get a sequel?
James Cameron's attached to it, so there's a probability because he'll make it whether he did or not. I mean, all the tech and all the set and stuff like that's already there. As long as they keep it, they can keep it at a better budget, I think, because most of that stuff is already done. They've already rendered characters. They just have to place them at that point.
Depends how much money Avatar makes for Disney, I think. That'll decide
There's that, too.
whether Disney greenlets a sequel.
But, I mean, at this point right now, we're at just squeaking under 400 million globally.
I
So,
don't think there's a chance.
No chance?
No. I'll bet $1 on it. $1. I bet $1. I'd buy that for $1. $1. That it won't happen. So, but let's jump to the news since you brought up one. The Disney Fox merger did go through. Casey was wrong, and Casey hates everything now.
Yes, I'm over here I'm gloating at you just for the sheer fact that I'm like, this shit's going to happen.
Unfortunately, I don't want to stick on this too long because we did 2 weeks ago, I think. But yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
And it's going through.
I mean, yes, I hate the fact that there are going to be people that are going to lose jobs because of this. But from a business standpoint, it's just a matter of getting everything aligned and getting rid of redundancy. I get that, the preface, that it sucks, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think there's enough market share for what Disney is acquiring right now for what Fox has that is going to make a huge change in what we get right now. I certainly see Disney using Fox as a means of the new line to Warner Brothers. They're using it as a secondary label to put out different content that is not Disney approved.
Speaking of that secondary label, they've already closed the Fox 2000 label, which was behind Hidden Figures, Love, Simon, like some of their more critically acclaimed mid-range budget movies. Mm-hmm. They're already shutting that down. I don't like that because that just means, hey, we're just going to put these blockbuster movies on a conveyor belt and start giving us more money, people. Yeah, more money.
You say this about putting these blockbusters on the conveyor belt, but these are also the same blockbusters that you're going and handing them the money because you like these movies.
It's because I am, but it's not like you can't make these other side movies too that I'm gonna go watch. Like there has to be a happy medium, and I hope they do find that.
Yeah,
that's all I'm asking for. Because hell yes, I want more fucking Star Wars and Marvel movies. Do I want to see Wolverine fight the Hulk at some point? Yes. But you need to have something besides those blockbuster movies, too.
I think we'll get there.
I hope so. Anyway, let's jump to something that's going to make all three of us very angry. The Dora the Explorer trailer.
I don't know about angry more than intrigued right now.
I don't think it looks very good.
I am not intrigued at all. Fuck this movie.
I'm not saying I would go see this movie. I'm sitting here going, what just happened?
Who? Okay, so we got the trailer. It's Dora as a teenager in high school, and then she's gonna go try to find her parents that have gone missing. And what the who is this movie for? That's my biggest question after watching it. It's not for the fans that still watch Dora, and you can't think it's for the people that have watched Dora growing up because this is not that same Dora.
No. That you do bring up a very valid point after watching that trailer.
Like I don't know who they're aiming for.
I think they're going for the kind of the Black Panther and Crazy Rich Asians vibes, where it's like all Latino cast kind of thing, kind of.
Well,
which was the Dora.
Would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they introduced Dora and her parents and Diego, but I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like I've watched Dora. Like, my sister grew up during that time when Dora first hit, and so I was sitting there watching it with her.
Did you learn Spanish?
A little bit, I guess. But Dora never pulls out a fucking knife in that show.
Maybe Dora should have.
She should have and just fucking killed that swiper, but...
I almost kind of picture them, being that this is obviously a Nickelodeon film, is kind of aiming for that same kind of demographic that they were shooting for Nacho Libre.
Oh, boy. Nacho Libre.
Yeah, deep pull.
Hey,
what do you mean by that?
Well, okay, so going back to when Nacho Libre first came out, I'm like, oh hey, it's Jack Black, it's the wrestling thing or whatever. It looked funny, whatnot. Get to the theater, realize it's a Nickelodeon film. Personally, that movie could and should have been a lot better if you're going to keep it into that pool. Is instead of being a Nickelodeon movie, it should have been like an MTV Films.
Yeah.
Could have been darker, could have been more edgier, everything like that. Because I got out of Nacho Libre, I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? I was so disappointed.
Okay.
So
it's more aiming for
like the tweens.
Yeah, preteen audience.
Yeah, the tweens.
Yes.
Because like Nacho Libre, I think that's what that was shooting for. Whereas if it would have been like MTV Films, it would have been more the late teens, early 20s. More of a grittier kind of thing. So I think that's what they're going for because they're obviously not shooting for the kids.
No.
So I think they're shooting for, like you said, they're shooting for those tweens, early teens because those were the ones that were watching it when they were little kids.
I don't want to stick on Dora too long, but so Danny Trejo will be voicing Boots, who doesn't wear boots. He's the sidekick monkey.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler.
Oh wait, no spoiler. It's news.
And her backpack and map don't talk. Like this has nothing to do with Dora besides the title Dora.
I just love the fact that we got Danny Trejo playing a monkey. I want to see this monkey go all machete, like grab that knife and just get all pissed off at one of these bad guys.
Are any of us going to go watch this movie?
No.
Okay.
I hope they made it for cheap. I just say that.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this. This is just the most bizarre. Ever since the news came out that this was coming, I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do with the Dora movie?
I want to know what Michael Pena was thinking. Oh, I've got a few extra days. I'll take the paycheck.
Take the paycheck. That's what he. Yeah. I don't know. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Let's move to a better trailer. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
The 9th film from Quentin Tarantino.
I love the fact that they play that so hardcore, and the only thing, for the sake of the 9th film, is it's the whole supposedly once he gets done with his 10th film, he's going to be done. And then I'm going to wait for, like, he gets bored and pulls, like, Kevin Smith, starts to get back into filmmaking, and it's like, the 11th film by... I think this looks really good.
Really good.
And I love the way that they cut the trailer. Again, this kind of goes back to, like, Us, for example, in that they cut the trailer to give you a definition of what you think the movie's going to be. And if you were to go to the movie with no preconceived notion than what you saw in the trailer, you're not going to get that movie. And I like the way that's the way they did this trailer. Like, you see Manson in the trailer, but you have no idea that it's Manson in the trailer unless you knew what you were looking for.
Yep.
This is not what I expected at all, which I think is a much better way to approach
Agreed.
it. Because from when I first heard about this, I'm like, oh, it's Tarantino's Manson family movie.
Right.
Not going to be that.
No.
At least from what we've seen in this trailer, it's not. Maybe that. I think the third act will probably involve that.
Well, considering how many
with
people...
With an alternate reality type of thing, like in Inglourious Bastards.
Maybe. I don't know. Because, I mean, we already know that there's already a handful of people that have been cast for the sake of the Manson murders.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, whether or not he actually goes down the rabbit hole and actually shows or get into that point of it. Because, you know, maybe he goes all like Reservoir Dogs. And, you know, with Reservoir Dogs, there's a bank heist gone wrong that you never see the bank heist. All you see is the before and after. So, you know, maybe that's where he's playing this, you know, is there's aspects of it that are taking place during the Manson murders, but we're not actually getting to see the Manson murders.
I think we'll see it. I think it'll be the third act.
Well, it could be. I mean, it's not like he doesn't know how to do blood and guts like he's, you know, Django.
Exactly. And I think he might go completely spin that Manson family murder on its head and just like, okay, reality happened, but this is my movie. This is the way I'm going to look at it.
Maybe.
I got a hot take.
What's your hot take?
I think Leonardo DiCaprio joins the Manson family and participates in the murders. That's what I got.
Well, he's gone darker, so it's possible.
That's what I'm going with.
I really enjoyed Leo in this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the final scene with him. He looks straight up like Kurt Russell in that final shot.
I like
his
even,
mustache.
I like even just the beginning where you see the whole like the interview and it's Leonardo and it's Brad Pitt, and I mean just in that brief second they just seem to like have like an amazing chemistry. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's. I mean, because this is Brad's first one, if I'm doing my math correctly, but this will be at least this is only the second one for Tarantino.
What's
for
that?
Leonardo?
Well, Brad Pitt was in
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh shit, that's
so it's
right.
both their
Brain.
second.
Yeah. So okay, yep.
And there was that True Romance film he did after Reservoir Dogs, which
True Romance doesn't count.
Yeah, he was only like one of like 5 directors or something.
No, he only wrote it. True Romance is an Oliver Stone movie.
I'm thinking of Marvin's.
I think it's Oliver Stone. Is it Oliver Stone? Why the hell?
I don't know.
Anyway, all I know is he just wrote it.
Yeah, I think this is a very good first teaser trailer. Doesn't show a whole lot. You get a lot of Leo and Brad Pitt. You don't get a whole lot of
anything else.
You
get literally like
you get shots of Margot Robbie and then one shot of
Manson.
And
nobody else that you know that, like for instance, what's Dakota Fanning?
Yep. She's one of
that
the Manson family.
You know, some of the other people that would be recognizable faces that are been Tony Scott movie that are purposely omitted. And I think that's a good thing.
No. Let's move on to our next news that Brian is absolutely loving.
I do? Sure.
He-Man has been cast again, this time by an actor by the name of Noah Centino? Something like that?
Yep.
I've never heard of this kid.
Neither have I. And I've looked at his IMDb page, and I still don't have no idea.
Chris, you have seen this kid before.
Yeah, to all the boys I loved before, you both need to watch it. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. He's good. I think he's good, but
Is he He-Man?
no, he's not.
Just looking at an image of this kid, and I'm like, I don't see it.
So are you saying the only way he could be He-Man is if he pulled the muscle suit like Zachary Levi does for Shazam?
Yep. he can't get it that big.
Except He-Man doesn't wear a big muscles, like a big anything to cover his pecs or his arms or anything.
He's got his plate. He's got his chest plate.
Yeah, doesn't cover anything up. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this He-Man movie.
Who knows?
It's gone through so many different things in the last just 10 years.
10? Try almost probably like 20, because I even remember one point even John Woo was attached.
McG was attached at one point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. I don't even know who's attached right now to direct, but...
The Knee Brothers.
The Knee Brothers?
Knee.
I think it's something like that.
Adam and Aaron Knee.
Yeah.
N-E-E.
What have they done before? Because this movie needs to be not as much as Brian loves the Dolph Lundgren version. Does not need to be that. It needs to be more Lord of the Rings than Super Mario Brothers.
Agreed. I won't disagree there at all. Hey, well, let's get on there. Director. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing noteworthy.
Basically nothing. So
they know some producer or studio exec, and they're like, all right, you guys go make that He-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, kinda. I mean, they've basically done some. They did a documentary, a couple of TV movies, a short, but nothing like Band of Robbers. Never heard of that one. So, no. It's probably them. It's probably the studio going, we need to make this movie. We need to find somebody cheap.
Yeah. We need to somehow keep the rights that we have to it.
Yeah.
Let's just make a good He-Man movie and give it to someone who actually knows the material.
Well, David S. Goyer was attached to it at one point while working the screenplay.
Yeah.
Currently, it looks like it's in the hands of the guy that did the first Iron Man. But this is also the same guy that was also on The Last Night and Punisher Warzone.
Woof.
So
Yeah.
So he did Iron Man and Warzone the same year.
Yeah.
How does that work?
How much of Iron Man was him, and then how much of that was just Robert Downey Jr.?
And Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
You got to be able to know how to be able to direct the movie.
I think they took that story and just said, you two, go make your movie.
Yeah.
So, I hope for the best. I want an awesome He-Man movie. Who doesn't? But
I need an awesome He-Man movie.
we need it. So if it turns out that this kid is going to be, the Zachary Levi to Shazam, this kid to He-Man, more power.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he's like the Prince Adam, if he's the Billy Batson to Shazam, then I have a little bit more of an ease to that. If that's where they're going with it. Because, I mean, indirectly, when He-Man becomes He-Man, he gets struck by lightning, so maybe that's where they're going with it.
Maybe. I mean, if Shazam's going to make bonkers money, maybe that's what they're going to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the Shazam vibe for He-Man, but
that's
besides
I mean,
the point.
but you're no matter what, you're gonna get that kind of vibe because he literally gets struck by lightning when he says by the power of Greyskull. So I mean, there's going to be that similarity. There's just no way getting around it.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's next?
Let's move to Brie Larson's directorial debut with Unicorn Store. This new trailer just dropped for the Netflix original movie.
Starring her and Sam Jackson.
Reuniting from Captain Marvel. So what did you guys think?
Were they reuniting, though?
They made this a long time
They
ago.
this was at TIFF like 2017. So this has been sitting on the shelf for a little while until somebody picked it up. So I bet you this is probably where, where they worked with the other and they're like, oh, hey, who knows? Maybe this is why Brie Larson was able to get into the MCU.
She was
when you know somebody kind of thing.
She was cast before she won her Oscar for Room.
They never announced it, but yeah, that might be
She
true.
went through negotiations before before she actually won the Oscar. It was around that award season, but she got the role before she actually won it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Think about this. I mean, this was at TIFF in 2017. You know, how long ago? When is that being made? 2016 even, maybe. So, I mean...
Room was 2015, and then she won it 2016.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know,
Yeah.
maybe around that same time frame.
Anyway, what did you guys think of this this trailer?
I'm confused as hell.
Very bad.
Like, I don't know what to think of this movie. Like, it's not literally... You know, the only reason why I probably want to see it is because I like the chemistry of those two. But outside of that, I'm like... I don't... If this was anybody, like, I didn't recognize or something like that, this is not something I would watch on Netflix. Unless I was bored and ran out of stuff to watch.
Netflix definitely got this dirt cheap because it's not going to be good.
I was intrigued by it. I was also intrigued by Velvet Buzzsaw, and that movie was shit. But yeah,
Tell us how you truly feel.
It was shit. But I have hopes for it. It has some intriguing elements to it, and I really like Brie Larson. I think she is one of the best.
She likes magic.
She likes magic, and I think she's one of the best young actresses out there. And I don't know, you can't go wrong with Samuel L. Jackson playing just some weird character.
Well, and this is probably one of those instances where it's like, oh, Sam Jackson. Well, might as well. He's in everything.
Yeah, it's something I'll probably watch it.
Yeah,
it comes out here in the next month, so I don't know. I'll get around to it. I'm already behind on some Netflix movies that have come out recently, so.
Yeah, you bastard.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so am I.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm not paying extra to see it, so.
You what?
You wouldn't go to the theater to watch it.
No.
If it's on Netflix, you might put it on.
You might as well.
Yeah.
It seems like one of those type of movies. Anyway, let's jump to the big news for the week.
Do we call this big news? Depending on who you're talking to, they'll be like, I don't give two flying shits. It's big news for me.
Big news for us right here on Backlot. Yay. Bill and Ted 3 is officially happening.
Yay.
Coming out in 2020.
If it wasn't for the fact that, yes, summer 2020, supposedly supposed to start filming this summer, you know, and I've said time and time again, until I actually see the words filming or something like that, I've been hearing crap like this for 10, 15 years. But being that we actually got Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves on video, them being the ones actually to release this, you know, via the Facebook page, makes me at least more knowing that this is actually going to happen.
Yes, with an actual, not a specific release date, but time frame where we can expect this movie to come out. Not saying, oh, it'll happen. No, summer 2020, we're getting Bill and Ted 3.
Yes, Bill and Ted finally face the music. Oh, and to add on to that, too. So when I first heard the news, I said that there's at least one thing that they need to do. And then my dream came true the next day via Alex Winter's Twitter. And somebody had sent a message to him saying the only way that they should make this movie is if they bring back William Sadler as Death. And Alex Winter's response is, we did.
Hot take, I don't like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
You're a jerk. But whether you did or did not like that movie, William Sadler as Death is one of the best parts.
Of that movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
I need William Sadler to come back as Death.
I could care less about Bill and Ted 2. I'm sorry. Bill and Ted 1 is amazing. It's one of the perfect encapsulations of like that 80s time frame slacker movies. And it's one of, if not my favorite time travel movie. But Bogus Journey, woof.
Oh.
Yeah.
You just don't...
I crushed your soul there, didn't I?
You just don't appreciate the Bogus Journey.
Maybe I need to watch it again, but...
You do.
Yeah, we'll have to do a watch party before this.
Especially when Ted has his fears for, like, the whole military school and everything like that. To have Arlie Ermy being the drill sergeant in hell was...
Who else could play the drill sergeant, though?
I know, right? I completely agree. The creepy-ass Easter Bunny, Death, you know, when they get up to heaven and they realize that the smartest people that they need to meet to get their answer or whatever are aliens. And he's like, what, do you expect it to be, you know, human? You get stationed? I mean, come on. Sorry.
Yeah.
You are wrong.
I'm probably in the minority on that, but yeah. Chris, have you ever watched Bill and Ted 1
I
or 2?
haven't watched either movies, so
You need to fix that.
Just watch the first one.
just
Just the first one.
I won't lie and disagree that Bogus Journey is the lesser of the two. I will not disagree to that whatsoever. But I appreciate them both in their different ways because one's time travel, one is obviously not.
Yeah. For me, it's like, I love Wayne's World. It's very similar to Bill and Ted. I always compare those two
oh
movies.
boy.
But Wayne's World 1, I think, just stands far and ahead over Wayne's World 2. Same with Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
First is, yeah.
But
But I know people that love Wayne's World 2 more than 1. I know people that love Bogus Journey more than Excellent Adventure. Mm-hmm. So, I'm glad we can have all these type of movies. So if we can get Bill and Ted 3, let's make Wayne's World 3. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, can you imagine how old
That's the joke. That was the joke since the first movie.
Oh my god.
They're like 30 years old when they're filming the first one, and Garth finally gets pubes. Like, that's the joke.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that, if they actually did make a Wayne's World 3, if people would be like, who the fuck is Dana Carvey?
Oh, poor Dana Carvey.
They might know Wayne or Mike Myers because they're like, hey, that's Shrek.
Austin Powers.
And Austin Powers.
Yeah, poor Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey.
Anyway, let's move on to our main topic that we didn't bring up at the top of the show.
Up, down.
Up, down. Let's jump back, rewind. We'll time travel back to the beginning. We're going to talk about the best sports movies of all time. We're getting on this because right now it's March Madness. It's also right around the opening day of baseball. So we're like, it's a encapsulation of all sports in this episode here.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a March Madness style bracket with the top 16 films that we picked along with a few other lists, but I rated them by IMDb ratings from 1 to 16, so that's where the seeding comes in.
And then you put other stuff in there that wasn't in there because you just wanted to.
And we just wanted to talk about Space Jam, so that's why that's in there. So if your favorite sports movie's not in here, don't yell at us because we haven't watched them all. It's impossible to watch every single movie. But these are ones that we have seen, we enjoy, we love.
Most of them.
Including Space Jam. But let's jump to the bracket. We'll jump to the number 1 seed versus the number 16. Warrior at number 1 versus 16 seed Space Jam. So we're each we got 3 of us here. If we're all unanimous, it'll obviously move on. But if 2 people pick it over the other, then that's what we'll move on. So Warrior versus Space Jam.
How did you put these two together?
I got a question first. Is this kind of like Sophie's Choice style, or the superior film should win?
All will exist. Yet you can still go watch Space Jam, but we're going to pick what is the greatest sports movie of all time.
Okay.
So if you obviously think Space Jam is the greatest sports movie of all time, pick it, but yeah.
It's like, how did you put Space Jam?
I didn't. This is what it came up at. So
I had to ask this because if we did Sophie's Choice, then I would pick Space Jam because I'm not going to get rid of that movie from the history of the world. But since we're talking superior film, it's Warrior. It's not even a competition.
Brian.
Son of a bitch. Why do you gotta make me do this? Why do you gotta make me do this?
I'm making you pick because I haven't watched Warrior yet. So if you pick,
That's my problem.
yeah, have you?
No.
Okay.
Wait, neither of you two seen Warrior?
I've always meant to.
Yeah.
All right, there's no voting here. It's Warrior.
We'll let Warrior go through.
Okay, fine. I'll take that because from everything that I know of the movie, it is the superior movie.
It'll make you cry.
All right,
Your bracket's not working.
Yeah, it's not working. Anyway,
Nice job.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Number 8, Moneyball versus number 9, Field of Dreams. Couple baseball movies coming up here.
See, this is at least a little bit more
More
level.
of a competition.
Yeah, exactly. Field of Dreams for me.
Yeah, it's got.
I don't care if there's Oscars involved with Moneyball. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
I love Moneyball more, but it has to be Field of Dreams.
This is all we have in Iowa, so I have to pick Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
So Field of Dreams, we'll move on.
You've got Des Moines.
Yeah, but as far as movies, we don't have much. It's Field of Dreams and Children of the Corn. So, all right, number 4 seed. Remember the Titans versus the Karate Kid.
This is my childhood, so my childhood versus my semi-adulthood when Remember the Titans came out. So for me, it's the Karate Kid. You can never go against Daniel-san.
Mr. Miyagi
Mr.
versus
Miyagi.
Denzel.
Ooh.
I'm going to Remember the Titans. I gotta.
Best sports movie. This
Just
is
remember, this is before Denzel became the equalizer.
This is. I love all Denzels though.
The Bone Collector?
Besides that, this is a tough one, but because The Karate Kid is such a great movie about a single person sport versus the team sport with Remember the Titans, and yeah, I'll have to go Remember the Titans too. I think it better encapsulate what a sports movie is.
You fan. I'm just kidding.
I
Totally
love
kidding.
Karate Kid, but yeah, Remember the Titans. Number 5, The Sandlot. Number 12, Major League. So all our baseball movies are coming up against each other here.
Sandlot versus Major League. I think... Oh, shit. I mean, they both have really good rewatchability, even. Unless it's on cable. And then Major League gets really edited for television. I have to go with Major League. I like Charlie Sheen as the Wild Thing. I like Wesley Snipes in his corny-ass roles there. I have to go Major League.
I'm going Sandlot. I have to.
I wish I didn't have to pick. Dang it.
You should have rigged this better.
I should have rigged it a little better, but no, I love both of these movies. I think Major League is probably my favorite sports comedy,
Yes.
but Sandlot has just a special place. I think I'm going to give it to Sandlot. Like, it holds what we look at now as far as nostalgia movies. No movie has done it better than Sandlot.
For nostalgia sport. Or just-
Any nostalgia. I think Sandlot encapsulate what a nostalgia movie should be.
Maybe.
Force Awakens.
No. That's how you do nostalgia wrong. Sandlot does it right.
That is true.
So, yeah, I will pick the Sandlot. All right, here comes Brian's Crisis of Faith. Number 2, Rocky. Number 15, the all-time classic sports mashup of basketball.
Oh my god.
Why is this on our list? I don't know.
I'm just sitting here going, who on earth would have this conversation? Rocky Balboa versus freaking Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
All right, let's move on. Rocky wins.
Why? Yeah, that's just it. It's like I want to root for basketball because it's such a corny ass movie, but you have to put it up against Rocky. It literally is a knockout from the get go.
Yeah, first round knockout right there. There's not a chance. It's over and done.
Would you concur, Chris?
I haven't seen either, actually.
You've never watched Rocky?
Nope.
You need at
None
least
of-
you
none
need
of
at
the
least watch
Rockies.
the first one.
I haven't seen any Rocky, any Creed, nothing.
Oh, you need to watch Rocky.
I know.
Have you watched basketball? You haven't watched basketball.
Nope.
I would say you have to watch basketball, but no, you don't.
You need to watch basketball just for the Jenny McCarthy chrome lips thing.
Yeah, there's so fuck that movie. Like, I love Trey Parker and Matt Stone, but I'm sorry, guys. Basketball, really.
Hey,
I've played that a few times on the playground though.
their
That's
follow
a
up
fun game.
wasn't the follow. I'm trying to remember wasn't Orgasmo after this, or is Orgasmo first?
No, I think it was after.
We shall find out.
That's why they stuck with South Park. That's all we got to say.
Okay, what's the next?
Number 7, Hoosiers. Number 10, Caddyshack.
Ooh, you had to go for the basketball drama versus the
Golf comedy.
golf comedy.
I mean, both will rank up there on the all-time great list if you ever look up sports movies. For different reasons. Caddyshack is usually number 1 for sports comedy. Drama, Hoosiers is usually top 3 for sure.
But you know what?
But this is our list. And
You know,
damn it, we're going to pick
You know what
what
the
we
difference
want.
is between these two, though?
One has Bill fucking Murray. in it.
Yes, Bill fucking Murray. Bill Murray. Caddyshack for the win.
Yeah, I'm going Caddyshack. I think Hoosiers is slightly overrated.
I haven't watched Hoosiers since I was probably like 10 years old, but I just watched Caddyshack like last week, and I'm like, God, this movie still holds up.
It, with the exception, like if you could somehow get around like the dating of like clothing, it totally
Oh, yeah.
holds up.
The comedy is perfect. Bill Murray, Chevy Chase. Ted Knight is probably my favorite in that movie. And he's so underrated in that. Right. Anyway, let's pick Caddyshack. What do we got next?
Looks like we have The Wrestler versus Bull Durham.
I mean, we could spark a little controversy with having The Wrestler on there because some would not consider it a sport. But I think it encapsulates the idea of what it means to be a professional athlete perfectly. But you also have a completely different movie in Bull Durham. So I don't know. What do your guys' pick, Chris?
I haven't seen The Wrestler, and I just watched Bull Durham last month for the first time.
What did you think of Bull Durham?
It's pretty good. I don't know. I think sometimes older movies can get slightly overrated as time goes on, but I think that one was pretty darn good.
It holds up. It does. Mm-hmm. Does the love triangle, I think, better than most movies ever could. Mm-hmm. And it does. It plays. I like the minor league baseball aspect to it.
Right.
But God, I love The Wrestler.
The Wrestler's so good.
It's so good.
For me, it's The Wrestler, just because of the ups and the downs, the grittiness of it. Darren Aronofsky did I can't even say his name right here. But I think just did a good job just encapsulating that kind of environment and the trials that some of these wrestlers, like when they get to like the pinnacle of their careers and start that downward shift if they're not, rich and famous by then.
What Brian said, but Marissa Tomei naked.
That too.
The Wrestler will move on.
Marissa Tomei is a stripper.
Aunt May.
All right, we got The Fighter versus the original Bad News Bears.
How long has it been since Wrestler came out? It's been like almost like 10 years.
Yeah,
right?
just about.
2008.
And Aunt May is still hot.
She is. So The Fighter, number 6, number 11, Bad News Bears, the original. What do we got?
Ooh.
I haven't seen the original, but I know the Billy Bob Thornton one is pretty shit, so.
Well, it's Billy Bob Thornton. What'd you expect?
I kind of like that movie.
You really like the Billy Bob Bad News Bears?
A little bit. I kind of like it. I was the age of those kids when that movie came out, and I watched that.
You know what that legit means?
over.
You know what that legit means to me?
What's that?
If you like the Billy Bob version, you will love the Walter Matthau version.
I've seen it. I've seen like the original. Is there 2 or 3 of those old ones? Yeah, I've watched all those.
Yeah.
That's why I think I got to go Bad News Bears. It does that story of the ragtag group of kids. That's where it started, right there.
You can't have that and the Sandlot. That's like having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah, but the Sandlot aren't fucking cursing and, they're a little less of the ragtag group, more of like the everyday kids.
I'm going with The Fighter. I have to.
Chris, comes down to you.
Yeah, The Fighter.
I love The Fighter too, but
supporting cast.
Well, I haven't seen Bad News Bears, so I have to go with The Fighter, unfortunately.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was probably in the minority on that one anyway. So The Fighter will move on.
I mean, come on, Christian Bale.
All right, let's move to the next round. We got the number 1 seed, Warrior, versus the number 9, Field of Dreams.
Ooh, look at you. Is that Iowa heritage of yours going to help you?
Absolutely, I'm picking Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams all the way down.
I absolutely love that movie. I think it does everything with baseball like everything about it is perfect.
I'd go with Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
That is just a good, solid, and it's James Earl Jones.
In one of my favorite performances from James Earl Jones.
Outside of Lion King and Star Wars?
More than both. Okay, maybe not Star Wars, but...
Anyway.
So we're all in agreement? Field of Dreams.
Yes.
If you build it,
yeah,
they will come. So we got the Titans, remember the Titans, versus the Sandlot.
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 Once we get to this point, it's like we've already kind of discussed the movies. We're just going to be like...
Yeah. This next one might be a little tougher.
Why?
Rocky versus Caddyshack.
Can Sly Stone take it from Bill effing Murray?
Kenny.
No.
No? You're going Caddyshack, Brian?
I'm going Caddyshack. I don't know. I kind of have to.
Casey, are you going Caddyshack?
To me, it sounds like Chris is over here going, I'm going to go with the majority. I'm going to go with the majority.
I haven't seen Rocky though, so I feel
No,
like
I'm going Rocky.
You're going.
Rocky is the underdog story. Like,
So I have to be the deciding vote on a movie I haven't seen yet.
yes.
Oh, so Caddyshack it is.
Because, okay, so I'll give a little context as why I'll pick Rocky. Rocky, I think, still holds up for an entirety of what it is as a movie. Caddyshack has some budgetary reasons, obviously. Weird editing and very weird way of connecting all the stories. Because I think the Caddyshack, the original story they were going for with these, ragtag group that works as caddies, is thrown to the side completely for Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, that story. So I think that's where the disconnect is starting to come in. That's where I'll give Rocky the advantage. It's an overall better movie.
I'm gonna go Rocky.
Yes, I convinced him. So Rocky will move on. We got number 5, The Wrestler, versus number 6, The Fighter. So we got the wrestling movie versus the boxing movie.
Ooh. Which Academy Award wins? Because this is The Fighter, if I remember correctly. That's where Christian Bale got his, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Wrestler was nominated for 2.
Yeah.
Did not win at all.
And it should have. It totally should have.
Brian?
Oh, shit. God, I love the meth head looking Christian Bale, though. I still have to go with The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke killed it as in that role.
Mm-hmm.
He should have gotten an Oscar for that.
Yes.
Yes.
That final shot of that movie, still, it's beautiful, haunting, everything in between.
Yep.
I gotta go The Wrestler, too.
I was gonna go The Fighter, but
Obviously, your vote doesn't count anymore.
nope.
Denied!
All right, so we are down to our final 4. We got the number 9 seed, Field of Dreams, versus The Sandlot.
God damn it.
What is the greatest baseball movie ever is going to be decided right here. This is probably the toughest decision.
Especially for you.
Especially, yeah. I mean, baseball movie. I love baseball movies. Those are my favorite type of sports movies, and these two would always be at my top. And I've never pitted them against each other, so fuck.
Be lucky this isn't Sophie's Choice.
I know. At least it'll still live on.
I have a suggestion. Let's go to the other one to give us.
Go to the other one first.
Ourselves a minute here.
All right, we can do that.
I need time to process.
So then we got the number 2 seed Rocky versus number 5, The Wrestler.
I haven't seen either of these movies. Damn it. This is not good.
So then your answer is The Wrestler.
I guess. I don't know.
If you were picking a bracket, what would you pick? The number 2 versus the number 5?
I hate to get off.
He has to know what teams he's,
Yeah.
I don't think number.
He just has never seen these teams play before.
That's true. I don't know. If you're going a 2 versus a 5 seed in March Madness, you usually pick the 2. But if the 5 has gotten there, that means they're pretty fucking good.
Right. It means that they've done more than what you expect. That's like when you get that, the 1 versus the 16 and the 16 wins.
That's only happened once.
Yeah. As examples. I'm just saying.
Brian, do you have a pick?
I'm sorry. I think Darren's a better director. And I think Mickey probably pulled off the performance better. I'm sorry. I'm still going with The Wrestler. I mean, I realize Rocky is an iconic character. I get it. But, yeah.
Fuck. This is such a hard one. That's what she said. And
Tyler, your sex tape?
I had to lighten the mood because I'm gonna upset my own self. But yeah, I think The Wrestler is a better encapsulation of a sports movie. I think Rocky works better as a
franchise,
and as a single character drama love story. Where I think The Wrestler encapsulates that entire sport perfectly.
The Wrestler.
So yes, the number 5 Wrestler will move on to our final 2. So we're going to jump back to the top here. Field of Dreams versus The Sandlot. Baseball movies. I can go first. I have mine.
Oh, you're gonna go Field of Dreams because it's Iowa.
No, Field of Dreams makes you cry every single time you watch it. Sandlot makes you look back at your childhood and what it was like to be a child, but you're not necessarily gonna shed a tear every time you watch The Sandlot. Field of Dreams will make you cry. So I'll give the slight edge to Field of Dreams.
I have to go with Field of Dreams.
Yep.
I mean, it's Kevin Costner and freaking James Earl Jones.
The best of Kevin Costner's trilogy of baseball movies, for sure.
Why am I drawing a blank on the third one?
For the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
Oh yeah, that was like 1999.
99.
So he goes from Bull Durham to Field of Dreams in a year. He was really on a baseball kick.
He is. All right, so For the Love of the Game was the other one, but we are down to our final two. This is it. Championship match. Field of Dreams versus The Wrestler. Two completely different movies, for sure.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely more of a realism versus a fantasy too.
Mm-hmm.
Field of Dreams, and I will die on this hill. Just gonna throw that out there.
Chris is over here going, I will die on this sword.
I didn't think The Wrestler was going to make it this far, honestly.
Because you figured Rocky would kill it by then?
I thought Rocky would knock it out, but
Just remember, you picked The Wrestler over Rocky.
I did, and that was my choice. But I can't go any further than that. Field of Dreams, I think.
Field of
take
Dreams?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Field of Dreams.
All right. I'm glad we're all unanimous on it, because I'd feel like shit if we weren't. So Field of Dreams comes down to our greatest sports movie of all time. Do we all feel pretty confident in that pick?
I'd say it's a pretty good solid, at least.
Yeah. I think that's a good one to have on top.
Yeah.
Any honorable mentions you wanted to throw out that we could have replaced basketball with?
Blades of Glory?
No.
No.
That's like going semi-pro? No.
Obviously, Talladega Nights
No.
is Will Ferrell's best sports movie, so that one could have fit in there.
No. At that point, we're doing a bracket of like 64 so we can get that shit out of there right away.
Yeah. The only other ones I had on the edge, just for my sake, were Happy Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I would take Happy Gilmore over any sports movie with Will Ferrell in it.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
We didn't have $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby was always on there. We haven't watched Raging Bull, that's why it wasn't on here.
You didn't have Creed on there. But you probably didn't put Creed because of Rocky.
Rocky's there. Yeah.
Dodgeball.
Oh my god.
Mighty Ducks was on my list.
Yeah, there wasn't even one single like hockey movie. Like Miracle should have easily been on there.
Ooh, Miracle's good. I like that one.
Who put this bracket together?
I don't know. I mean, who narrowed it down to 16?
Boy, next time we have to put bracket together. You and me do it.
Hey, I tried to narrow it down to something that was more popular movies, but yeah, Miracle probably should have been on there instead of basketball. That's for sure. Who picked basketball?
You did.
Right.
We all did, because fucking
Because it's basketball. A League of Their Own.
A League of Their Own.
That's a good one.
There's so many different movies that we completely just left off our list, and we lost all credibility because we're just a bunch of schmucks.
Just for the sake of being stupid for college or high school football, Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues. Waterboy.
Actually, for being a McG movie, I actually really like this one. We Are Marshall. Is really good.
McConaughey, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Matthew Fox.
Yep. Invincible. Mark Wahlberg.
Uh-huh.
Right around the same time.
Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Oliver Stone's football movie.
Football movies are a tough sell for me. Baseball movies are easier for me to wrap my head
That's
around.
why I would actually encourage Any Given Sunday, because it's definitely, you can see the Oliver Stone signature, dark, gritty, his spin on it, because it's, it's an imaginary league in his world and whatnot. But no, that one would be a really good one. Jamie Foxx is the lead quarterback in that movie. Good solid cast. Just ignore the James Woods, like he's an asshole right now kind of thing.
One of the list I was looking at that I kind of wanted to put on there, but I wasn't sure if most people would count it as a sports movie.
White Man Can't Jump.
That is a great one. No, Rounders with Matt Damon.
Ooh.
I love Rounders. But that's a tough sell as a sports movie.
Yeah.
Right. 'Cause
Poker.
some people don't see necessarily as
Poker
poker.
as a sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on ESPN.
Hey, that's what you beat me to it, Chris. I was like, if it's on if it's on ESPN, even if it's on the Ocho.
Yeah. All right. So Field of Dreams will be our number one sports movie of all time. That is the winner for this year.
This is going to be an annual thing?
Annual thing. No. We'll count down the worst ones next year with Benchwarmers at number one.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap this thing. We're gonna wrap this thing up like Rob Schneider's career, and we gotta plug our shit. So we checked out Us. Be on the lookout for that review coming very soon to Backlot 605. We also got to check out
The early access for Shazam.
Shazam. So
And-
Brian will be doing a review on that.
Yes.
Yes. So quick thoughts on Shazam before we one sentence wrap up of what your review will say.
Overall, great, because it's the whole, it's like Wonder Woman, Aquaman. It takes place in a universe but it's solely its own, and I appreciate the fact that that's how they spun it, and they definitely gave an ability to let Zachary Levi be Zachary Levi. I think it was great.
I got one question.
Yes.
Post-credit scene?
2 of them.
Good?
Yes.
Perfect. That's all I need.
Yep.
And it's the post credit isn't the kind of thing where it's gonna try to, you're not looking for something, it's been put in stone online and whatnot. There's nothing with Black Adam or anything like that. It's solely encapsulated to the movie, but it is definitely worth waiting to the end of the credits to get to that second one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Even though it did take me a split second to understand what was going on.
To figure out what the joke was?
To figure out what the joke was, and
All right.
then the joke was amazing.
Yep. Look out for Brian's review. Shazam!
Shazam!
You gotta yell it every time because there's an exclamation point at the end of the
Shazam!
There we go. So that's the show. 21 episodes in. We made it this far.
Let's keep on
Let's
going.
keep going. Let's move on to our plugs because we gotta plug our shit.
We got to plug the shit.
Follow the
Oh my God, how gross that sounds.
we gotta plug our shit. Not like that. Wrong podcast you guys are listening to. We gotta plug the Sioux Falls film. I'm not gonna say plugs anymore. Jeez. Check out the Sioux Falls Film Community on Facebook. Also join the Sioux Falls Film Community group where we're throwing out a lot of fun, different topics to talk about. So join it there.
Chat it up.
Chat it up. You can also chat it up with Fat Dude Digs Flicks on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Andy is an awesome dude. Watches way more movies than we could ever do. All three of us combined, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Also check out Blake and Jameson at Midwest Movie Talk. A couple other movie schmucks that like talking about movies.
Yeah.
And you can check out this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play,
YouTube.
and YouTube.
You're starting to get good at this.
I'm memorizing. It's up here now. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, do all that fun stuff. Check out backlot605.com for all our latest movie news, reviews, articles, all other movie chicanery.
Whatever we get around to putting up on there.
Exactly. Do we have anything else we want to plug? Chris, you got something?
I don't know what I wrote yesterday. Let's just put it at that.
Chris will have an article coming out very soon. Well, and
By the time you listen to this, he'll have his article
It'll be
out.
up
We
there.
don't know what it is
we
yet.
don't know what it is. It's up there, though.
We can't talk about the future and the past.
No. Next week, we will be talking about Tim Burton movies. The good, the bad, the Alice in Wonderland.
Really, you're going to go Alice in Wonderland as the ugly one when you have Planet of the Apes?
Yes, it's worse than Planet of the Apes. We will fight about that next week. So be on the lookout for that coming very soon. So, yeah, that's been the show.
That has been the show.
That has been the show. So
We'll
see you later.
We did pretty good
we
here.
did pretty good. Yeah. Now let's wrap it up.
Wrap.
Put a nice little bow and plug it.
Saran wrap it.
There we go. All right, Brian.
Goodbye.
Bye. We'll see you on the backlot of South Dakota.
Beep.
Bye.